Hey everybody, welcome to Tales of Terror episode 4. This Tale of Terror is about one of our live shows that we're playing. We played a lot in 2019. We had a jam space then too. It was on the West End and lots of beautiful energy at that time playing shows. And so one of the days I was getting all my stuff from the jam space. And this particular jam space had a lock to our space, as well as a kind of punch code keypad lock at the main entrance, right on the West End. So I was gathering all my stuff, kind of getting excited, just kind of running through the list in my head of everything I had to grab. And then it's getting loaded in my car. No one else is at the jam space at the building. And finally I get to the last piece of gear, my amp head. And if you know me, I love orange amps, love their amp heads, a huge part of the Q-lation sound. And so I got to the final piece of gear and I go to open the door, and the door was locked. The punch code was no longer working. It was all buggered up, and my amp head was just on the other side of the glass, the main door to the building that had all the jam spaces in it. So immediately I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm supposed to be there in an half hour kind of thing. Started running late. I don't have that many guitar friends with stage gear that I could borrow immediately. And so also I was like, is this thing gonna get stolen? I've had it for a couple months, love it, and is it gonna suddenly walk off? And so start freaking out. Went through every phone in my phone, every phone number in my phone contact, trying to see if someone had music gear I could borrow. Long and McQuaid, renting stuff was already too late at this point. And so thankfully I got to one of my music friends, Tim, and I got him up on the phone, got one of his amp heads, and I used that for the show and just winged it, did some tones just on the fly. We were opening, so there wasn't a lot of time to get crazy with things, but it all worked out. And I used his Marshall head, and that was great. And did the show, and everything worked out. And then finally, the next day, called every phone number I had for the jam space to see where my amp head went and how I could get that back and get in there. And thankfully somebody came by that night, put it in their jam space and held on to it. And when I came back the next day to check things out, it was missing, and I was fucking freaking out. And then I actually just ran into the guy that put it aside. And so I was like, thank God. And everything all worked out. But for the time being, I was just super stressed about what would happen. And that is my tale of terror. Has that ever happened to you? Missing gear, stuff breaking right before the show? Let me know. Bye-bye.